Throughout my life, I've always been sort of interested and drawn to things that were slightly dangerous. And as a result of that, I've had many injuries over the years. But I have to say, the worst injuries that I've had and like the most chronic pain that I've dealt with has all been a result of just drawing too much. Throughout my career as an illustrator, I've gone through so many different issues between my elbow and my arm and my shoulder, all from just drawing little pictures. The first major issue I had from drawing was some really bad, I think it's called tennis elbow, even though I've never played tennis, except maybe gym class in high school. I think that was badminton. Different topic. Just all kinds of issues that required a whole bunch of physical therapy just from letting this little elbow float while drawing pictures. We're not talking about drawing pictures while doing parkour or drawing pictures while rock climbing. Just sit on the couch, drawing pictures. So once the physical therapist got through all the different scar tissue and like grinded it all out and did a whole bunch of rehabilitation exercises, my doctor and the physical therapist said, you just got to make sure that you're always anchoring your elbow when you're drawing so that you don't have this happen again. So now, every time I draw, I make sure that my elbow is anchored nice and secure. So that was all fine and dandy and it was working well enough until, I don't know, it's been a while now. But I started getting a lot of pain in my inner elbow, which I found out is called golfer's elbow, also something that I have never done. And that pain has also led to shoulder pain. It seems like I can't win. Drawing is very, very dangerous, and I'm gonna have to retire from being an illustrator. So this is my goodbye video. Just kidding, that's ridiculous. I wouldn't stop drawing. What else would I do? Can you picture me having a real job? Nope. Not this guy. There are things I can do. I've been given some exercises and stretches that I should be doing by my doctor. The problem is I don't do them. It's hard for me to make time for that because it's hard for me to make time for anything. But that does remind me of this book that I got at the Icon Illustration Conference a few years ago. Hold on a second. The fact that there's a book about this makes it clear that this isn't just me. Lots of illustrators and other visual artists struggle with pain from drawing. So this book was by Creota Wilberg. I apologize if I'm saying that name wrong, but I will put a link to this in my Amazon link in the description. But yeah, I definitely need to spend some more time with this. I'm gonna put this with the other books that I wanna make some time to read. So because I know I'm gonna be bad about doing the stretches and exercises consistently, I think one solution that may help me a lot is varying my drawing position. I think the biggest issue is like the repetitive motion, doing the same thing over and over again. And I think if I just switch up the way that I draw from time to time throughout the day, I think this will make a big difference. So to do it, I'm gonna try out 2 new iPad stands. The first one is this one that was sent to me by Benks. This one is a nice portable solution. And then this one was sent to me by Kooksy? Is that how you say it? Kooksy? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I assume that I'm not, so I'm gonna just put it on the screen and then you can let me know in the comments how it's supposed to be pronounced. So this one is a more permanent setup. This is one that you mount onto your desk and it's got this little movable arm. So I'm definitely really curious on how both of these are gonna work and how they'll fit into my workflow and if they will save my arm from falling off. So let's get into it. So I've been using this Kooksy. I really apologize if I'm saying this wrong. I know that I am. I have to be. But I've been using it for a couple weeks now and I really like it. It's actually changed my whole desk setup. Before I was running my MacBook Pro as like a second display. But now with this arm, I just use this LG display with my MacBook Pro in like clamshell mode back over here. And I use my iPad Pro as like a second display. And what I like about this is even though it's a little bit smaller than the MacBook Pro display, it's very easy for me to just draw in like Photoshop if I'm on the computer. In the past, when I had to do this, I would have to like go and grab my iPad and set it up. But since it's already set up, I'm more likely to work this way. So I like that a lot. And this arm makes it super flexible to go from like using it as a display to also drawing. So basically you just kind of pull it and move it wherever you want. So it's very strong and sturdy, but almost to like a fault, because sometimes when I'm putting it back, it's actually kind of hard. Like you really gotta muscle it to get it on there. But because of that, it's nice and sturdy. So I can put it down like this to draw, and it works really well. And I can just switch back and forth between using it as a display with my computer, or then just like swiping up. And then if I want to like do something in Fresco, I can open up a Fresco document and then, just start drawing there and then go back and forth. I could draw with it down like this, which is a different position. I could also like move it up higher if I want, like do some of this action. And this is a totally different position. So I feel like this is probably good for me. I actually haven't drawn like this yet, but it's kind of nice. As you can see, like this is sturdy. Like I'm pushing hard and like it's starting to move a little bit, but it's certainly like this is the pressure that I would have to draw on it, and it's taking it. Like you could, you wanted to just, I don't know why you would want to draw like this, but I got to try all different kinds of drawing positions so that my arm just does not fully seize up and I have to retire. There's no backup plan if I can't make illustration work. So let me demonstrate the one downside to this. Because it's so sturdy, like getting it back up into place, like you really gotta kind of muscle it. And if you're like a smaller person or a little bit delicate, you're gonna think it's really hard. But I think it's gonna like loosen up a little bit over time, I guess. I just worry that, maybe it might loosen up too much and then it'll be too loose. I don't know. I really don't think that's gonna happen. It seems like it's very good quality. You can pull it out pretty far, but like, as you can see, you gotta sort of manhandle it. But it's very sturdy, and like it can go up super high. So we could do lots of different things here. I don't know maybe if you wanted to present this to someone, if you were like, hey, the other person in my office, there's no one here. I'm all alone. If someone was here, I could say, hey, what do you think of this? Oh, you think I should? Yeah, I was thinking that too. Let me change it. And then you just pop it back down. And then must fold it back into place. See what I'm saying? It's a little tough. But I would prefer it being a little difficult to move than if it was just like super floppy. Like this LG Ergo display, I love, but it's a little like it's easy to move, so it's a little wiggly wobbly, but I'm not drawing on it, so that's fine. I am planning on doing like a full office setup video at some point soon, so if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments, because I don't know what kind of videos are interesting to you all. So I've been happy with this. It's been a couple weeks now, as I mentioned, and I've been using it every day, and I like it. The one downside, I can't say the one downside because I already said there was a downside, and that's that struggle. But the other thing is not really an issue, but it's the same with both of these cases. Not cases. I'm thinking cases because that's what I'm going to talk about. With both of these stands, you have to take off the iPad case, and that's a little bit annoying. I thought it was going to be more annoying, but really, the Zugu case that I use just pops on and off without too much struggle. The one annoying thing is I tend to somehow take a screenshot every time that I take the case off because it presses the side button and the top button at the same time. But a screenshot here and there never hurt anyone. To wrap it all up with this one, it's super flexible. You can easily pivot from portrait to horizontal mode. You can pull it real far out, put it way up high, way down low. I tend to like this angle a lot where it's like, I don't know, 45 degrees maybe, probably less, maybe 30 degrees. And you can sort of wiggle it around like this. So I can be doing this and like looking up at this screen if I want to. So let's go talk about the other stand. So this is the Benks magnetic stand. What I like about this one is that it's super portable. As you can see, it folds almost completely flat. So you can just sort of like pop this in your bag. It is relatively heavy, but I don't know. It probably weighs about the same as an iPad, maybe a little heavier, but I guess it needs to be heavy so that it's pretty stable. But it still folds pretty flat. And this one you can just sort of take with you and then pop it up wherever you want to use it. So it's not only great for drawing, it's also good if you just wanted to like pop it up and watch a movie on it or something like that, or watch these YouTube videos. But get this, and just have a little TV playing my videos anywhere you go. So when I first decided I was going to do a review of these two different iPad magnetic stands, I kind of thought it would be more of a comparison between the two and like which is better. But what I've realized over time is that they're different and they sort of work together pretty well. The other one is obviously something that's permanently mounted to my desk, and I like it for that and it works really well. But this one is really nice to just like take with me and use somewhere else. Like if I need to go work in a different spot or at a different desk or at this desk. It's very secure, can pick up the stand. So this one can also do both horizontal and vertical with just a simple little twist. It's got lots of different flexibility in how you use it. You could use it both ways. This thing will pivot all the way around. For me, I think my preferred drawing setup would be kind of like this. See that angle? Similar to the angle that I was using at the lower setting on the other mount. This is nice and stable, makes the drawing position a little more natural than perfectly flat. You could also put it up like this if you want it taller, and it's still pretty stable. Like I can lean on this and it's not going anywhere. And this is a nice way to sort of change things up, like if your back starts to hurt. And backs are another thing. Before I switched to drawing on an iPad, when I was drawing on a Cintiq all the time, I remember my back was always hurting because I was like hunched over like this drawing. No one's safe. But anyway, this is very stable. It's so much more stable than I would have imagined something this simple to be. So my hope is that by incorporating these two different stands into my workflow, I'll start to ease some of the constant pain and suffering that I've got going on in my shoulder and my elbow. And maybe if you are starting to get some pain from drawing, maybe this might help you out. If you don't have pain yet, maybe this will serve as a warning to make sure you don't do the same motion all the time. Or maybe your joints are just better than mine. That could be the case too. If you're interested in either of these stands, I will have links below. I think I have discount codes for at least one of them, probably both. They will be in the description regardless. Do any of you have any suggestions for ways that I can stop ruining my body by just drawing pictures? If so, leave them in the comments. I could use all the help I can get. All right, good talk.